We all ranked Justin Jefferson first overall last year, and that didn't go well. We all ranked Jonathan Taylor first. I mean, that was a legit conversation, I think, between Taylor and McCaffrey. And, a lot of the takes from that year did not age well for a lot of people that really wanted to tell you it had to be one or the other. Like, everybody ranked JT number one that year. It didn't go that well. And, that doesn't mean that McCaffrey is cursed, but it just means that there's no certainty, right? I'd love to draft Ayuk and Samuel when annually there's going to be the annual sort of consternation from the fantasy community about how many targets can I project here and that whole thing. I want to be drafting those guys next year. It just is, the reality is it's hard to roll over everything that went so right this year. And again, I think next year is probably the last time that these guys are all together.
There are not a lot of instances where the RB1 from one season runs it back the next year and is again the RB1, right? Like that's vintage LaDainian Tomlinson stuff, and Priest Holmes did it, and like maybe Gurley did it one year, but like we don't see that a lot. That's like an every 10-year thing. Maybe the most likely scenario for McCaffrey is not that he produces stat for stat exactly what he just did. I just think the ceiling for Christian McCaffrey is higher than anybody else because of the nature of the offense, because of his skills as a player, because he's a do-it-all guy. So his ceiling is higher. And I also think like he's going to be, assuming nothing happens between now and July, he's going to be going into next season healthy again. And right. So like, he's not going to have an injury red flag, even if you still think of him as some kind of injury, not you, but people generally think of him as some sort of injury prone player. Yeah. He's not going to be hurt. He'll be coming off a tremendous season in a dynamic offense. And like, if he just gets to 14 games, say, there's no way he's not a top 5 fantasy back. I think he wins on ceiling, and I think he wins on floor. And I think that probably puts him in a tier of his own at the position.